Hmm? Okay. So, Namaste. We'll start with our prayers. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Asraye Vishta Siddhai. May we be protected, may we be nourished. May we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I take refuge in the self, the indivisible, the existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, beyond the reach of words and thought, and the substratum of all, for the attainment of my cherished desire. So this is knowledge portion, Jnana Yajna, Jnana Kanda. That means process of knowledge. It is very important because here we try to analyze things, try to see objectively. As we know, we have head, hands and heart. So through hands we work. It is important in our life. Otherwise, even the bodily functions cannot be achieved. Similarly, we have heart to feel. So we have the other class that is on Friday, but today we have to use our brain. So in the beginning it may be a challenging, but gradually it will become easier. So what we have understood till now, in the beginning we have discussed who can study this scripture. Second, what is ajnana? What is maya? What is ajnana? Ignorance. What is ignorance? But since we are also in ignorance, we cannot totally understand. It is like a painting. The character of painting cannot understand who painted me, why he painted me, and what is the purpose of it. Similarly, even in novel, the character cannot say until or unless the author puts a dialogue like that in the mouth of the character. He cannot understand who wrote my character and why he did so. So we are the product of Maya. We are in ignorance now. But this is human capacity. That while being in this sphere of Maya, in the domain of Maya, this capacity is given to explore. Okay, let me see what is this. What is this Maya? What is this ignorance? So we have some help. What is that help? We have been given our rationality. And it is to use that. As we use, it develops. In the beginning, it's difficult. And then we have also Shruti. Shruti means the statement of realized souls. Like we have Sri Ramakrishna. So we can understand comparing his statement, what he said after realization. Similarly, we have Vedas, Upanishads. And also whether it stands our rationality or not. So it may be a challenge, but it is worth taking that challenge. So Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. And then after Shruti, if it confirms with our rationality, then do we feel like that? So Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti, three things. Now, what is Maya? Atasmin tadbuddhi. Whatever it is not, we see that. Or we perceive that. Or Maya matram idam dvaitam advaitam paramarthata. So whatever duality that we see, it is because of Maya. I give example of taking a beaker, water, and you take a pencil. Pencil is straight, but you put it, it looks tilted. Why it looks tilted? Because it is in a different medium. When we compare with two mediums, so it looks tilted. Then you take it out, again it is straight. So this diversion, this multiplicity, it is because of that Shakti that is called Maya. So it cannot be even understood, it even cannot be explored. But still, we have some means, at least we can have a glimpse of it. And secondly, so devotion. You can feel, of course you can feel. But it is like play of emotion. Here you are using your rationality, robust rationality. So this way, you can have immediate, say like it is like this. You have a passbook, and you have, say, $1 million. So you can worship that passbook. Oh, passbook, give me, say, $100,000 out of my $1 million. So this is one way. And also, like, there are some other paraphernalias will be there. You'll have to go to bank and then encash and then like that. But this, when you have like nowadays, it is like a credit card. So you can immediately encash. So knowledge is like that. So it is rough, in general. So anyway, so we'll start with our reading. Swamiji has given this heading. This is.
Did I start, Swami?
Yes. So Maya and illusion. So Maya means it's God's power. Daivi Hesha Gunamayi. Mama Maya Durattaya. It is my power. So it is divine power. Illusion, as we see in this world, but it is different from illusion. Because of that, we see multiplicity, though there is no multiplicity. Maya matram idam dvaitam advaitam paramarthata. In reality, it is non-dual. But when we see, we experience, we see duality. So this is because of Maya. Okay, go ahead.
Coming from abstractions to the common, everyday details of our lives, we find that our whole life is a contradiction, a mixture of existence and non-existence. There is this contradiction in knowledge.
Where are you, from where you are starting?
Oh, isn't that what I sent you?
Yeah, Maya and illusion, it starts from almost all of you have heard.
Oh, I was starting with coming from abstractions to the
coming to the principles. There?
or coming from abstractions to the common. I may not have sent you exactly right. Coming from abstractions to the common. Did you find?
Yes.
Okay. Coming from abstractions to the common, everyday details of our lives, we find that our whole life is a contradiction, a mixture of existence and non-existence. There is this contradiction in knowledge. It seems that man can know everything, if he only wants to know. But before he has gone a few steps, he finds an adamantine wall, which he cannot pass. All his work is in a circle, and he cannot go beyond that circle. The problems which are nearest and dearest to him are impelling him on and calling day and night for a solution. But he cannot solve them, because he cannot go beyond his intellect. And yet that desire is implanted strongly in him. Still, we know that the only good is to be obtained by controlling and checking it. With every breath, every impulse of our heart asks us to be selfish. At the same time, there is some power beyond us, which says that it is unselfishness alone, which is good.
So one thing we think that we can solve. Say science. Science thought that it can solve every problem by analyzing matter. But now it is adamantine wall. It cannot cross. Even if they go to a quantum level or maybe beyond quantum level, they cannot go. And gradually it is becoming philosophy. So this is one thing. And second is there is some power. At the same time, there is some power beyond us which says that it is unselfishness. So selfishness, we want to gather, we want to grab everything for us. But from somewhere it comes that no, it is not paying. Unselfishness is more paying. Yes.
Every child is a born optimist. He dreams golden dreams. In youth, he becomes still more optimistic. It is hard for a young man to believe that there is such a thing as death, such a thing as defeat or degradation. Old age comes, and life is a mass of ruins. Dreams have vanished into the air, and the man becomes a pessimist. Thus we go from one extreme to another, buffeted by nature, without knowing where we are going. It reminds me of a celebrated song in the Lalita Vistara, the biography of Buddha. Buddha was born, says the book, as the savior of mankind, but he forgot himself in the luxuries of his palace. Some angels came and sang a song to rouse him, and the burden of the whole song is that we are floating down the river of life, which is continually changing, with no stop and no rest. So are our lives, going on and on without knowing any rest. What are we to do? The man who has enough to eat and drink is an optimist, and he avoids all mention of misery, for it frightens him. Tell not to him of the sorrows and sufferings of the world. Go to him and tell that all is good. Yes, I am safe, says he. Look at me. I have a nice house to live in. I do not fear cold and hunger. Therefore, do not bring these horrible pictures before me. But on the other hand, there are others dying of cold and hunger. If you go and teach them that it is all good, they will not hear you. How can they wish others to be happy when they are so miserable? Thus, we are oscillating between optimism and pessimism.
So this is our contradiction that we face. And it is our experience. And we want to know why this is happening. Why this happens with me? Then we find a word, say God. God is controlling everything. So all blames go to God. So, but here the analysis is that let me find out what is the cause. So Buddha tried and found. He found that it is her desire to enjoyment. That is what causes all our afflictions. So anyway, this optimism and pessimism goes continuously in this duality. Yes.
Then there is the tremendous fact of death. The whole world is going towards death. Everything dies. All our progress, our vanities, our reforms, our luxuries, our wealth, our knowledge have that one end, death. That is all that is certain. Cities come and go. Empires rise and fall. Planets break into pieces and crumble into dust, to be blown about by the atmosphere of other planets. Thus it has been going on from time without beginning. Death is the end of everything. Death is the end of life, of beauty, of wealth, of power, of virtue too. Saints die and sinners die. Kings die and beggars die. They are all going to death, and yet this tremendous clinging on to life exists. Somehow, we do not know why we cling to life. We cannot give it up, and this is Maya.
So this is that desire to clinging, that is Maya. So here, death is certain. Sri Ramakrishna said, if I knew this world is real, death means what? Going to its cause. Death is going to its cause. Like body is made up of 5 elements, so it goes to its cause. So this transformation happens. So Sri Ramakrishna said, if I knew that this world is real, then I would have covered Kamarpukur, that is his birthplace, with gold. But this is always changing. So what is the purpose then? To find out what is unchanging. If anything changes, that means there is something which never changes. So our focus should be not in objects, but in subject, which never changes. We see car is running. That means something is stable. What is that? This earth. On that path, on that road, car is running, so we can see it is running. Similarly, this world is also not stable. It is also running. It is moving in its axis, then it is going round the sun, and the solar system is going around the galaxies, and the whole galaxies are also moving. So I calculated, that's 1.922 miles per hour. 1.922 miles per hour. So this is a tremendous movement is going on. But there is, even after that, there is something. So what is, according to science, what is the stable? That's the cosmic rays. Against that it is moving, as it were. So anyway, what is the point? Point is we have to find out that which never changes. And if we see something is changing, that means something is there which never changes. Now, luckily, we have that within us. Within us, something never changes. No need of going to stars. This is the beauty of it, that within us something never changes. Say, when I was young, a child, that time also I was. And then middle aged, now also. So this continuous existence, awareness, bliss is continuous. So we have to find that. Okay.
The mother is nursing a child with great care. All her soul, her life, is in that child. The child grows, becomes a man, and perchance becomes a blackguard and a brute, kicks her and beats her every day. And yet the mother clings to the child, and when her reason awakes, she covers it up with the idea of love. She little thinks that it is not love, that it is something which has got hold of her nerves, which she cannot shake off. However she may try, she cannot shake off the bondage she is in. And this is Maya.
Yes, that clinging that we want to hold. Actually, the source is within. That is why we want to extend that to other objects of this world. Yes.
We are all after the golden fleece. Every one of us thinks that this will be his. Every reasonable man sees that his chance is, perhaps, 1 in 20 million, yet everyone struggles for it. And this is Maya.
Good. Oh, this is, you're done. And another,
Yes.
death is stalking day and night over this earth of ours. But at the same time, we think we shall live eternally. A question was once asked of a king, Yudhishthira, what is the most wonderful thing to think on this earth? And the king replied, every day people are dying around us, and yet men think they will never die. And this is Maya. So this apparent world is vanishing against that which never changes. And we have that inkling. From that standpoint, we think that we are not going to die. Though everybody is dying, but I am not going to die. So this contradiction is Maya. Now we have seen this. Now what we have already studied. Now before we go to that, let me recapitulate. One is called Srishti Drishtivad. Srishti Drishtivad means there is this creation and we see it. There is this creation and we see it. But there is another view. Because we see it is created. See, like before discovery of atom or even the quantum, people did not know what quantum was. And see, in future also they will find more things, which is never known now. We have this limit. So that means as we explore, we try to find and see it. So it is Drishti Srishtivad, means when we see, it is created. When we watch or dream, that time dream exists. After that, dreams are not there. If a poet conceives some ideas and composes a poem or writes a novel, so he creates. So this is a projection of his own self. So Drishti Srishtibad. And there is another thing is called Ajatavad. It is never born. So this is one thing. And then another, what happens? The other day, Akshay asked, what happens when one gets realization? So there also two ideas are there. One person thinks that this Dvaita Bhan, remains. Example? Example is like that mirage, water in mirage. So after knowing, when we know that actually there is no water, but still after that we see it. So after realization also, this world remains according to some people. Other people say, no. No. Other people say that this totally disappears. And even Vivek Chudamani also says, Adhunaiva maya dishtam ko gata kwa nitya kam gatam kena va nitam kutra linamidam jagat adhunaiva maya dishtam nasti kim mahat adbhutam. This is a wonder that I saw this world, but who has taken this? And where has this world gone? And where this world has disappeared? Adhunaiva mayadishtam, even I saw it just before this. After realization, I don't see it. So what a wonder. What is the example? The example is a snake on a rope. We see a snake on a rope, but when we bring light, then it disappears. So these are two ways of seeing what Sri Ramakrishna says. That's very important. Because through Ramakrishna we understand in a better way. Otherwise we can be confused. So Sri Ramakrishna God has covered all with his Maya. He does not let us know anything. Maya is desire. I mean, here it's Kamini Kanchan, lust and gold. He who puts Maya aside to see God can see him. Once, when I was explaining God's actions to someone, God suddenly showed me the lake at Kamarpukur. I saw a man removing the green scum and drinking the water. The water was clear as crystal. God revealed to me that Satchidananda is covered by the scum of Maya. He who puts the green scum aside can drink the water. Let me tell you a very secret experience. Once I had entered the wood near the pine grove and was sitting there when I had a vision of something like the hidden door of a chamber. I could not see the inside of the chamber. I tried to bore a hole in the door with a nail knife, but did not succeed. As I bored, the earth fell back into the hole and filled it. Then suddenly I made a very big opening. So what he is indicating, that he, when he had that realization, then it is like water. Water is clear. And then he says, listen, this is known as vision of Satchidananda, the formless Brahman, the Kundalini rising above the Vishuddha Chakra enables one to see everything as Akash. One attains the absolute by going beyond the universe and its created beings, conjured up by Maya. By passing beyond the nada means sound, one goes into samadhi. By repeating Om, one goes beyond the nada and attains samadhi. And what happens in samadhi? as we see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. For 6 months he was totally absorbed in samadhi, and even he did not know day and night, even no interest in eating or dressing up. Only a monk appeared that time, and he tried to thrust some food, and sometimes he succeeded, sometimes he did not. And sometimes he used to even beat. So that time, the outer consciousness, like this, what we have. So according to that, as Shankaracharya also said, it is possible that it totally disappears. Kadhunaiva maya drishtam, kah kam gatah kena vanitam. So this is another idea. So one is totally disappears. Like we come out of dream and dream totally disappears. And another, that it is like water in a mirage. Though after realization it appears, but we know that it is false, it is not real. So anyway, now we have affection, we have attraction, we have infatuation with various things that we have already discussed. What are those? That we have some resources, some relationship, we have identification with that. What is that? Putra Atmavadi. Like we have relationship, we have that connection. We think in absence of that, I'll be doomed. But it never happens like that. And why it is? Where to find that which never changes? Where to find, two things are mixed up. It is like tapta ayaha pindavat. Like when we heat, say, water or iron, and if we touch, so we say, oh, this iron has burnt my fingers. Or we can say that water has scalded my hand. But actually what we mean, that is the heat of the water. It is the burning sensation of fire. That is because of, it is not that iron piece. So we have to find out what is that, which is existence, knowledge and bliss. In this admixture of the Maya and its evolutes, but behind it, that is the existence. As we pray every day, that is the basis of mind and speech. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. What is that which is the basis of speech and mind? So we are to discover that. That is why all these 9 steps are there. There are 9 steps. What is that? First is that my relationship, my resources, that is me. But actually we find that is not me. Then this body is me. But actually that also is not me. Because when we find that this body, in absence of food, etc., it reduces. And even sometimes we don't have idea that I have a body. Then second is that prana, vital forces. Third is vital forces. And fourth is we feel that this anya antaratma pranamaya. Yes. So first is all our relationship and the resources. Number 2, this body. Number 3 are senses. Number 4 are vital forces. Number 5, sometimes we think we are mind. But that's also not the case. Anya antaratma manomaya. So why? Because I am thinking. We say I am thinking. But actually, thought process also stops. So there is another, that's why intellect. So buddhi atmavadi. That means sometimes we think our intellect, that is me. So Vijnanmaya kosha. Then comes Ajnana Atmavadi. That means what happens in our deep sleep, we do not have awareness of our body, mind, or vital forces, everything. But we experience some bliss. And then the eighth is Ajnana Upahita Chaitanya. Ajnana Upahita Chaitanya. That means the consciousness that is associated with ignorance. And ninth is when everything subsides, like a feeling of absence. So that is ninth. So all badha. So this, up to this we have completed. Now let us go back to our study. So this we have completed. After this, that will go. So etesham putradinam 132. Etesham putradinam anatmatvam uchyate. Now it will be shown that all these items from the sun to the void are not the self. So we have to find out what is that self. All these are coming and going. But that self never goes or comes. Etaihi. Okay, I'll read the translation. Since in these citations of scriptural passages, arguments and personal experiences, all three fallacious, made by the different classes of people enumerated above, beginning with the extremely deluded, in support of their respective views about the self, the subsequent view contradicts the previous one. Like sun or properties by body. When some house is on fire, so people don't bother about house. Or even relatives. Rather, they save themselves. And similarly, we have already seen the subsequent view contradicts the previous one. It becomes quite clear that all these items from the sun to the void are not the self. So this, up to this we have here. Then we go to the next. Moreover, none of the items from the sun to the void is the self, because all those fallacious citations of scriptural passages, arguments, and personal experiences. So three things: scriptural quotation. But why scriptural quotations are given? Because Shruti takes us from lower stages to the higher stage. That is why it is given. And some people identify with it. And similarly, we have some logic also behind it. But ultimately, as we experience, our experience is most important. So moreover, none of the items from the sun to the void is the self, because all those fallacious citations of scriptural passages, argumentations, arguments, and personal experiences is support of them are all nullified for the following reasons. First, because they contradict strong scriptural passages. So, because later scripture, the quoted scriptural passages are such that gradually the previous one is discarded. So, first because they contradict strong scriptural passages which describe the self as not gross, without eyes. That is it is given there. That asthulam ananu Shruti Yukti Anubhavacha, and that Shruti is there, that just a minute. Asthulam Ananu, that means all negative. Nitya Shuddha Vishuddha Mukta Svabhava. Pratyak, kincha pratyak asthulaha achakshuhu, that means it is pratyak, not parak. Parak means outside, objects. So pratyak means what is the center, what is inside, pratyak. Parak and pratyak. Asthulaha, that means it is not gross. Achakshuhu, it is not the sight, but it is the sight of sight. We see not through these eyes, but we see through our self. So it has no eyes, but it is eyes of eyes. Apranaha amanaha. It is not vital forces, but vital forces are on this. Amanaha, it is beyond mind. But mind is sustained because of this. Akarta, that means it is not a doer. But sense of doership comes because of this. Then Chaitanyam Chinmatram Sat, and it is consciousness. It is awareness. Chinmatram, it is awareness itself. So it is 134. Yeah. So Chaitanyam इत्यादि प्रबल श्रुति विरोधात अस्य पुत्रादि शून्यम पर्यंत. So we have read that one. Moreover, none of the items from the sun to the void is the self, because all those fallacious citations of scriptural passages, arguments, and personal experiences in support of them are all nullified. So three things: Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. This Shruti is nullified by stronger Shruti. And Yukti also we can understand this, that it is the sight of, it is the eyes of eyes, and it is the mind of mind. So this is the center. So it is said, yeah, the first because they contradict strong scriptural passages which describe the self as not gross, without eye, means eye of eye, without the vital forces, that means it is the vital force of vital forces, without the mind, that means it is mind of mind, not an agent, it is akarta, it is not agent, but because of this even agentship comes. but consciousness, pure intelligence, and existence. Secondly, because they are material and are illumined by pure consciousness, and as such are unreal. So, whatever we see, all these uh, 9 steps that I enumerated, it is because of the self, all are experienced. So, secondly, because they are material and these are matters, or whatever we have explained, that 9 steps, they are matters, uh, material and are illumined by pure consciousness, and as such are unreal, like a pot, etc. So, whatever we see, whatever you experience, so whatever we experience, that is matter. The person who experiences, he is conscious, Chaitanya. So, pure consciousness, and as such, and lastly, because of the strong intuition of the man of realization that he is Brahman. So that realization comes, that I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. That realization comes. Like Sri Ramakrishna experienced this. When all other objects drop off, what remains? So that is the goal of life. That is why some people, they leave everything aside and try to figure out, try to meditate on it. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshat. So they want to realize the self, so they keep everything aside. They close their eyes. Eyes means all the senses are shut. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam aikshat amrit abrita chaksho amritattam icchan. They want to realize that immortality. That is why they close, they shut down all the senses and try to concentrate in their self. So this is that 134. Let me read it once more. Moreover, none of the items from the sun to the void, Shunya, is the self. All these are not self. Because all those fallacious citations of scriptural passages, arguments, so because the scriptural passages, stronger scriptural passages nullify the previous one. Because all those fallacious citations of scriptural passages, arguments and personal experiences in support of them are all nullified for the following reasons. First, because they contradict strong scriptural passages, which describe the self as not gross. It is not the eyes, it is not the mind. Rather, it is the pratyak Chaitanya. And secondly, because they are material. And third, because of the strong intuition of man. So here also we find the same thing. Scripture is to our help, and secondly, logic also. And the third is the realization that Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So Aham Brahmasmi, that is, I am Brahman. And all these are Brahman himself. So this is that 134. Now we go to the next. So 135. Ataha tad bhasakam. So whatever is illumined, that is object. The illuminator is the subject. Here, light. Light is illumining all the chairs, all the objects here. Similarly, that which illumines the whole world is not self. And who illumines again. If it is active, that activity has to be not to be taken. The pure illuminator, that means no action is going on. So that is the self. Tad bhasakam nitya shuddha buddha mukta svabhavam. Therefore, the innermost consciousness, which is by nature eternal, pure, intelligent, free and real, and which is the illuminer of those unreal entities, such as the sun, etc. Sun, property, body, mind, intellect, all these. So, is the self. This is the experience of the Vedantist. So, Vedantin comes to close that whatever is experienced, it is not the self. So, we experience this body, this world, body, and senses, and mind, intellect, all those things are experienced. Even the, one gentleman went to a monk. He said that I am very perturbed, I am very worried. So please, Swamiji, please help me. So Swamiji gave him one discourse, and after contemplating on those, he said, "Oh, now I understood. Now I am calm and quiet." So Swamiji said, that calm and it's like as of now you are tranquil, but that is also you are experiencing. So that is also not you. You are beyond that experience. Who is experiencing? So that pure form, that is you. So ataha tad bhasakam, that illuminator. And what is the nature of that? Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Satya Svabhavam. So it is eternal. It is pure. It is pure intelligence. And it is free. And it is the only truth. And Satya Svabhavam. This is its real nature. It's not its qualities. This is to be understood. Like it is not qualities. Qualities come and go. If someone is fair, maybe he'll be dark. Or some good qualities, maybe next time he can acquire some bad qualities. So the qualities are also objects, because that is also illuminated. But actually the illuminator, that is the self. Ataha tad bhasakam nitya shuddha buddha mukta svabhavam pratyak chaitanyam eva atmavat atmavasthit atmavas tu iti vedanta viddat anubhava vedanta vit vat anubhava. So this is the experience of Vedantin. Therefore the innermost consciousness, which is by nature eternal, pure, intelligent, free and real, and which is the illuminer of those unreal entities, such as the sun, etc., is the self. This is the experience of the Vedantist. And this is evam adhyaropaha. This is adhyaropa. Adhyaropa means superimposition. On whatever is experienced is superimposed on the experiencer. So this way we can understand what is our real nature. The real nature is Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta Svabhava. We are ever pure. And we are eternal. We are intelligent. And we are free. And this is the only reality that exists. So standing on that, whatever we see or experience or whatever we illumine, those are not real. But what happens, we try to find truth there because we want to project this self there. So that is why these contradictions goes on, and we cannot find in the objects. We cannot find reality in objects. Therefore, the innermost consciousness, which is by nature eternal, by nature, it's not qualities. It is the nature of itself, nature itself. It is pure, intelligent, free and real. This can be said like this. So these are also, like, it may sound like these are also qualities, but it's not qualities, it's the real nature. This is to be experienced, that I am pure self and I am eternal, I am intelligent, free soul, free and real. On this whole world is being painted. This whole world is floating on that consciousness. So this is the challenge. Challenge is to find out that reality. Who is the illuminator of this whole world and all kinds of objects. And that before that it was explained what are those. Even 14 lokas, all this whole world, five objects, 5 elements, and all the evolutes, 24 cosmic principles. So in conclusion, what is this? There are 2 prakriti, one is para prakriti, apara prakriti. So through apara prakriti, para prakriti creates this. So, in God says, aparayam itastanyam prakritim viddhi me param. Jiva bhutam mahavaho yayedam dhariyati jagat. I hold this whole creation created by with the help of apara prakriti. So whatever we see, it is object, the eternal subject we have to find out. So this is the standing of Vedantin. So is there a question? Akshay, you asked what is that everything is negated, but actually it is not negated. All objects are negated, but eternal subject is affirmed. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So a bit difficult, no doubt, but this is the way to analyze things and to find out the objects are not real. It is apparent. They come and goes away. They come and go away. But it is the eternal subject. That is the reality, who illumines all other things. Any question?
I had a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, but if we call it Satchidanand, then it is getting defiled because speaking.
Okay. That is what I said. That defined means there is qualities. But it says that it is its real nature. Satya Sabhavam, real nature. By nature eternal. So it is not qualities. Like you can experience this. You think, as of now, you may think I am Akshay, that is your quality. I am tall or short or fair or brown, or I am intelligent or not intelligent, I am good at play or not good at play. All these are qualities because it keeps on changing. But you Akshay, when you were a child, 5 years old, the same Akshay is now. And after 20 years, if I happen to meet you, say, oh, if I am there, of course, this body is there. So, all these are qualities, but there is something within you who illumines. Say you asked a question. That means that which is asking question. It is the nature of that is pure. Only we have to find it out through meditation, Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. We have to hear it many times, hundreds, thousands times. And then we have to contemplate on this. Then comes the realization that I am not all these body, mind, intellect, or even not void, but that illuminator who is illuminating. See, you are awake now. You are seeing this world. But when you go to sleep, this disappears. And you have dreams. And in course of time, the dream also disappears. Then you have a dreamless sleep. There also you have some inkling. You enjoy. But think of that. Who is going through all these stages? Who is relating through all the objects? That must be higher than all. And it is not qualities. That's why it is not, though it is called Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Svabhava. Because we are to not to take the word. We are to take the implied meaning. Words as such, they are qualities. But what is the implied meaning? So it is like this. Akshay. Oh, I saw you. You are the same Akshay whom I saw, say, 5 years ago. If somebody is, say, if I saw him, say, when he was young, no moustache. But after, say, 20 years, he has got moustache and beard. Oh, you are the same, say, Thomas. Or, oh, you are the same Caleb. So what we do mentally, we deduct that childhood of that person and adulthood of that person. We try to see that same person. So, that person has no, that illuminator has no qualities. So this is only indication. And we have to take the wordings, the implied meaning of the wordings. So when we say Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Svabhava, or Sat, Chit, Ananda, Swarupa, Swarupa, that's very important. Sat, Chit, Ananda, consciousness, awareness and bliss. It is its Swarupa, it is real nature. It is not qualities. Say, we have to speak something through words. So this is the nearest expression that we can say. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. What you have said, that is the point. That are these qualities? No, these are not qualities. It is Swarupa. It's my real nature. What is my real nature? Awareness. Existence. Say like this. If I tell you, Akshay, you don't exist. Then you'll say, Swamiji, I'm sorry, I exist. So this is already we experienced this. And how you know that you exist? Because I am aware of this. So these two are always with us. Only the bliss portion, the Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, awareness and bliss, that is not all the time with us. Why? Because we have so many attractions. We want this, we want that. So that is why bliss portion is hidden. But when our desire is appeased, say, suppose you want to have, say, television, latest television, or elderly people, they want, say, Tesla car. So they try to get money and borrow or loan, and then they get the key of the Tesla car. So that means what? The desire is, that time it is subsided. The upmost and uppermost desire is appeased. So that time we feel joy. Suppose you get, in your examination, you'll get, say, 90% mark. Oh, Swamiji, I got 90% mark. So that expression comes because your desire is subsided or it is fulfilled for time being. So that time joy portion also comes. So two situations are always with us. That means awareness and existence is always there. Only the bliss portion is absent because of our desire. So, up to this we have completed this section. Now comes de-superimposition. Okay. You see our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna-arpanamastu. But good question, very good question. Though I told already, but yes, when we pose questions, then only we can understand in a better way. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Pranam.
Namaste.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste. Namaste.
Jai Goswami.
Jai Ma.
So Maharaj, Monday we are starting a new book.
Yeah, Hinduism. I mean Sanatan
Hinduism.
Dharma. Sanatan
Okay.
Dharma. See, ওই আমাদের একটা ছোট একটা গ্রুপ 5 o'clock